I am learning slowly that it takes a little bit of time for YouTube Live to actually go live. And yes, the letters are still in reverse. I still haven't worked that out other than actually learning how to write backwards. And while my spaghetti brain would love the challenge of writing these up backwards, I just do not have capacity at the time because we are right in the middle of our tech upgrade, which is the whole reason why this challenge started. Because while we're doing the upgrades to Madeit, the amazing home of Australian handmade, I'm going to say in there too, is that while we're doing the tech upgrades, we just want to make sure that everything is working beautifully, smoothly, and ensuring that we've got that whole process behind working immaculately, that we closed the doors so that no new artisans could join Madeit, and that we created a waitlist. And to give you a little bit of an update on where the waitlist is at, I have just checked and we have 500 on the wait list, which is so exciting. And because we're on day 23, I feel like the 2000 on the wait list is going to be totally achievable, which is just mind-blowing and incredible and exciting. Now, full transparency, I am somewhat sleep deprived. We had our upgrade happening in the middle of the night last night, and while I had the team working on that and who are doing the upgrades, and when I say team, right, you just really need to bring it down into a very nuclear size and know that on the Made It team in Australia, there is me and Beck. We're working with developers who are over in Europe, which is that's the platform that we're going to make marketplace actually doable in Shopify, because our e-commerce platform is on Shopify and Shopify is not natively made for marketplace, but I was really insistent on being on Shopify, because I honestly believe that it's the e-commerce market leader, e-commerce platform market leader. But what it did is it gave me full autonomy as the leader of the ship and the creative direction behind the ship, that I could actually make changes on a daily basis. And the other thing that I know about Shopify as well is it's super easy to have the team in there and be able to make changes. So for me, it kind of amplifies what we're able to do. And so the platform that we're going with, or the developers that we're going with, who are in Europe, and I can't even remember how I actually first connected with Francois, but it's been incredible. And even with the platform that we're going with, the smallest things have to be developed. And it's one of the things that I'm finding. I think my new little label that I'm giving myself is the handmade woman in tech, which I quite like the ring of. But every little thing needs to be tweaked and created in order for it to be specifically for handmade artisans. And that's what we are at Made It, right? We're specifically for handmade artisans. And that means that the tech is created specifically for you as well. So that was happening in the middle of the night last night. And I was intending to sort of be able to go, everything's working, everything's fine. But of course, I'm getting up every hour or so and refreshing on my emails in bed, had my laptop beside bed, doing some downloads and stuff in the middle of the night to make sure we had backup systems and all that sort of stuff. And then online this morning for our first meeting, which was at 6 a.m. With the team. And then I've also got a company that I'm working with in New Zealand, spread out over New Zealand, who are actually helping with the front end development of the site as well. And that's through my coach that I've been working with since middle of last year. And he's been phenomenal. I know that in the feedback that we've had from Made It members, that you love being able to get so much of the learning and development from me. Well, I also have my person as well that I go to for all things tech, for all things creative. Actually, I've got a list of people. I would say I'm extremely lucky to be, not lucky, I'm extremely grateful to be surrounded by amazing, creative, great minds, but also as well who come from the same ilk as I do and very much believe in a sharing and stronger together mentality is best. So throughout this whole process, that's the team that we've had. But Beck and I were literally sitting in the meeting this morning, and I rang her afterwards, and I was like, oh my God, I was just pinching myself at this situation. And the platform's looking amazing. We're still testing and tweaking and going through all the stuff to make sure that it's really perfect for you. And when I say perfect, there is no perfect. There is only striving to become continuously better, right? I don't believe in the goal of perfection. And we're a handmade world here, right? There is no perfect. That's what makes it, you know, imperfectly perfect, I would say, in the handmade world. But it was a real pinch me moment for me. I have to say, though, I was watching the video back and looking at myself in my hoodie going, you know, no hair done, going, gee, really, my fashion days are becoming like further and further away and less visible, but that's okay. That's okay. On to this next chapter. So for the check-in today, being our 2 p.m. check-in for day 23, how are you going? If you missed the Instagram live this morning, you can catch that up in the reels over there on Instagram. But we were talking about what is the one subtle shift that you could be doing in order to move the needle. And when I say move the needle, I always like to think about it, you know, it's kind of like a speedometer, right? And it's like, if we were going to put on that accelerator and work out how we can gain, you know, a little bit more speed and get a little bit more traction, what is the one thing that you could be doing in order to get that traction? And what I find interesting about this question is it's usually not big, grand things. Of course, they're out there, but often it's in the subtleties that we find that it really connects and something lands. Interview that I still not have put up, and I'm so excited to share with you, but it's with Dee from Shiloh's Way, who's a local earring designer, but she's a Kiwi as well. But her earrings are beautiful that she makes, but she has created this awesome community around her earrings and really been able to kick off in, I would say, a category that is A, very competitive, but also B, very saturated. And the thing that she's done is that she's been able to bring community together through her videos, through her sharing, and make her customers feel like she is talking directly to them. And she's a real master of it, I have to be honest. And I would say, like, if you haven't already checked her out, go and watch her socials and just watch how she subtly does things. Like, she starts her video with like, kia ora whānau, which is like, hello family. And if you're a Kiwi, you know that probably, but also as well, it just draws you in and brings you into the identity of being a sister within her brand. So clever, so clever. So while we're on my favorite topic of understanding who your customer is, what is one thing that you could do that would make your customers feel very seen? It might be something so minor that you might even have skipped over in the past. I'll have to go back to him, which means I also may be pressing things with the upgrade. I need to go back to him. But yeah, what is one subtle thing that you might know about your customer that you could start adding into your stories or perhaps into your posts that would make your customer feel very seen? And instead of you going, hey everyone, how could you go? Hello, creative handmade artisan. Right? Something as simple as that, not that particular thing, that may not be right for you. But, you know, I know in a catch up that I had with Kerry from Doubleton Duds, she had realized in her curiosity and Inspector Gadget kind of digging that her product specifically spoke to mums with boys, right? And so in that subtlety, it means that she can connect even more with her customer. So look, this is our 2 p.m. check-in on YouTube for the 30-day challenge, day 23, countdown. Everything's backwards, upside down, but the upgrade's happening and I couldn't be happier, even though I am a bit sleep deprived. But have an awesome day. Tell me where you're at. If you come up with a subtle shift, pop it in the comments. Let's all learn from each other. We're always stronger together. And just, you know, a little bit of housekeeping. It takes about 10 minutes for this video to go public. I have to change the settings after this. So if you want to come back on in about 10 minutes and leave me a comment and let me know how you're going with the challenge and what you might change tomorrow. Have an awesome night. I'll see you in the morning, 9 a.m. on Insta.